Call everybody, and this is our call for lesson three. We had lesson two last week, which was amazing. In my opinion, we went over some very important information that we have to learn because when we get into the world of trading, it's a whole nother language. It's some words and some stuff that you may have heard at some point, but you don't have a clue what it means. And we want to understand those things, and we try to take lesson two to do that, to go over the terminology that we use and you hear so much in the industry. So that's what lesson two was about, and we now we're at lesson three, which is a very important lesson as well. But before we get started, let's do what we always do. Make sure we stay on point. Let me turn this call over to Barbara Warren. Make sure she take care of that business before we get going. Over to you, Barbara.
Yes, so here's our disclaimer for our futures commodities trading group. Trading and investing carries a high level of risk. You could lose some or all of your investment. Trading commodities or any other financial instrument may not be suitable for all investors. Before deciding to trade, you should carefully consider your investment objectives, level of experience, and risk appetite. We accept no liability for any losses or damages you may incur. This means that you alone are responsible for your actions in any trading or investing activities. Back to you, Delvin.
Yes. Thank you, Barbara. I love the fact that we get to trade in a market that um, contains risk because I was taught a long time ago that wherever the risk is, that's where the money is, you know. But I love that we can control the risk too, right? So thank you for covering that, Barbara, because that's very important that we do that. But did we have any quizzes? Let's go to Dr. Melba because she always makes sure we cover our quizzes and we had some throughout the week. So, Dr. Melba, are you ready for us?
Yes, I am, sir. So our
All right.
first quiz question was, what two animals are used to represent the behavior direction of the market? The question again, what two animals are used to represent the behavior direction of the market? Okay, I see they're putting it in the chat. No one's talking to us tonight. Oh my
All right.
goodness. Ezra, Bull and the Bear. J. King, Bear and the Bull. Lucky, Bull and the Bear. Kincaid, oh, Keisha, Bull and the Bear. All right. Looks like the Bull and the Bears have it tonight, Mr. Wright.
Wow.
We are doing all right. Yes, we agree. Okay. And so the second quiz question this past week was, what is the golden rule? A, always trade with a stop loss. B, make sure you follow the rules. C, don't risk more than 10% of your account on any particular trade. D, control your emotions. E, all of the above. F, none of the above. G, not sure. And,
Mm.
and so far, J. King says C, Lucky says C. C is don't risk more than 10% of your account on any particular trade. And then Keisha says E, all of the above. And Lucky says don't risk more than 10% on any particular trade. Franklin says don't risk more than 10% in any particular trade. Okay. All right. So I agree with C. Don't risk more than 10% of your account on any particular trade. And that is the golden rule. Yay. You guys did
Yeah,
really good.
very good.
Good
Yeah.
job. Good job, everyone.
All the rules are very important, right? We want to make sure we follow all the rules, but there's one that we consider to be the golden rule, and that was C. Great job. Yeah. So as we get into lesson three, what is it that we're covering on lesson three, Barbara? Ready to dive on in lesson three?
Yes, sir. So lesson 3 is going to be our homework assignment from lesson 2. Defining
Yeah, we have homework, huh?
we had home.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody remember defining a futures contract and the charts with time frames and order types. That's lesson 3.
Okay,
There we
let's
go.
get into it. Barbara said we had homework. Homework assignment.
Yes.
Where is the coin belt in the USA? Where is the coin belt? Anybody know where the coin belt?
Yes, sir. I think I know.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
In the northern region, North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Nebraska, Kansas, and Missouri.
Exactly. Awesome. Yep. Can you read that again? Those
Yes,
are the
sir.
states that's in the coin belt. Everybody, please pay attention. Up tomorrow, can you read that again?
Okay, yes, sir. In North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Nebraska, Kansas, and Missouri.
Perfect. Guys, those are the states that are in what's called a coin belt. So almost the whole entire country has farmers that grow corn, but this region, this particular area, is where the majority of the corn is grown. And there's so much corn grown in the corn belt that they grow more corn in the corn belt than anywhere else in the world. So corn is grown all over the world. There's farmers all over the world, but the corn belt in the USA grows and produces more corn than anybody in the world. That's how important the corn belt is. Great job, Jamal.
Thank you. And there's also a list of other type of belts too in the
Hmm.
U.S. as well.
That's right. Great job, man. So the second part to the assignment, homework assignment, was the fact that we also have what's called a heartland. So where's the heartland in the USA? A- Anybody can tell?
I could tell you that too, unless you want to hear from somebody else.
Jamal all over it. Okay.
Man, I told you I'm back, bro. All right, so all right, the heartland is in the Midwestern. These are the Midwestern states: Alaska, Kansas, Iowa, India, Illinois, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wisconsin. The mountainous states are Colorado, Utah, Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming. The southern states are Arkansas, Kentucky, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and West Virginia.
Hmm. All right. He's been all over it. And the the main part of what he just said, we want what we want to really understand is that the main heartland is going to be considered basically like it's basically the center and the heart of the country. So it's basically more so in the center of our country is more so the main heartland. And some of those states you heard in the Corn Belt are also in the heartland. So this is some of you some of you may even live in some of these states or have lived in some of these states. And this is where the heartland is. So a lot of the heartland is in the right in basically what you hear considered like the Tornado Valley. You know, like if you familiar or lived in Oklahoma or Kansas, or, you know, anywhere in that area, you know, that's the valley of not just the heartland, but where a lot of tornadoes come through that way. So this is where a lot of the grains, if you understand what the corn belt, the significance of the corn belt and the heartland, this is where a lot of grains are grown and produced. So, all right, great homework assignment. I think Johnny B gave us this homework assignment for this lesson. We always have it because I think this is something Johnny implemented. I might be wrong, but um, good homework assignment. All right, the futures contract. Dr. Mel or Barbara, either one of y'all want to go over this, or you want me to? Anybody want to read the futures contract?
Did you want to do it, Dr. Mel, or do you want me to do it?
What in the world is a futures contract, Barbara?
It's contract. So your definition of a futures contract, it's an agreement between a buyer and a seller where the seller agrees to pay a specific price for a specific quantity of a commodity that the seller promises to deliver during a definite month in the future. A futures contract can be bought or sold at any time up until the date it is due or it expires. So it can be bought and sold over and over and over again up until the date it is due or expires. It's a lot of times you get tripped up on that. So it's not something, it's not like buying a pound of sugar and you just buy it once in the store. These are contracts that we're trading over and over. So tip number one, to remember, 95% of all futures contracts are bought and sold again before they become due. And then tip number two, to remember, the futures market is regulated by the Commodities Futures Trading Commission. All right.
And Dr. Mel, I like to add right here, just thinking about, if you going back to, we was invited on a couple podcasts, and on one of the podcasts we were speaking on, there was a trader who asked a question about hedging, in the futures market. And one of the main reasons that this market even exists, why this market was started, so that farmers could be able to hedge their crop and use these futures contracts. So if you understand or go back and read what Dr. Mel just read about what a futures contract is, understand.
Okay.
Everybody can please mute out. Appreciate it. Understand that a farmer can take advantage of the futures market, in these futures contracts by, if he say he's planting corn, this grain season, and the price of corn is trading low, he can take advantage of the futures price being low and buying a futures contract to lock in the price while it's low. For what did Dr. Mel say? For a commodity that he's gonna sell or deliver in the future. And that's the advantage of using these futures contracts. And like Dr. Mel said, these futures contracts will be sold over and over and over again. I just recently got into a trade just on Friday. And when I had my order filled to get into the trade, when I bought that futures contract, somebody was selling it. Okay. So now that I'm trading and I have that futures contract, when I get out of it and sell it, somebody's going to buy it from me. And it's going to keep going on and on and on until the expiration of the futures contract. It can be sold over and over and over again, many, many times, like Dr. Melvin just said. So great job, Dr. Melvin. All right. charts and time frames. Guys, if you never read a chart before, you don't know anything about reading charts, once you get overwhelmed about that or get nervous about that, because one of the things we're gonna do through these lessons is teach you how to read charts. Sometimes charts may be to some say, well, charts intimidate me, or I'm scared of charts. Just know at some point we all had no clue on what was going on when we looked at a chart. But at some point it starts to click, it starts to make sense. The more you look at charts, the better you'll get at reading the chart. And charts have different time frames. When you look at charts, because charts tell a story, and you'll learn to understand that when you get understanding on reading charts. These charts speak to you. They're telling you something. And that's why it's so important to learn how to read charts. But they have different time frames that we can, look at and gather our data to make decisions on, looking at and getting into a possible trade. So talk to Barbara, what are the different time frames?
So the time frames that we look at are monthly time frames. We look at yearly charts. But before us, we have a 5-day chart. But we primarily focus on the monthly chart.
Okay. Yeah. She said daily, weekly, monthly, and a yearly chart.
Yes.
And the difference between these charts is just the information, the data. Some will have more data, so more information, more history than others. And they will all have a different story that they're telling. If you look at a weekly chart and then you go look at the monthly chart, it's going to have a totally different look because they have different amount of time, different data, more different amount of history that's been uh, on each different time frame. So, all right.
Yes, so this is the 1 month chart. So if you notice, it looks totally different, looks different from the 5-day. Next is the 3-month chart. Once again, it looks different from what the 1 month chart looks like. This is 6-month chart.
You want some water?
This is 1 year.
Oh, wait a minute, you have to go on the potty pad, don't go there.
This is 5 year.
Yeah. You gotta go on the potty pad,
This is
yeah?
the max. That's all the time frames. I'm gonna mute them out in one. I'm gonna go back and show them all again so you can see the difference. That's 5-day. That's 1 month. That's 3 months. That's a 6-month chart. That's a 1 year chart. That's 5 year. And that's max. So what we usually do, we usually look at the 6-month chart. We usually use the 1 year chart as just information because they don't have the most accurate information on it. So when we go into a trade, we primarily do it off of a 6-month chart because it's the most accurate chart for us to trade from.
Correct. Based on our style of trading, we prefer the 6-month chart because of the way that we trade, because of our system. Awesome. Great job, Barbara. Order types. We have different order types that we can use when it comes to putting in orders to get into the market. And very important, make sure you know how to place an order and what kind of order you want to place. So you want to know the different type of orders so that you can place the right order when you are putting in an order. So very important to make sure you understand the different orders. And what are the orders that we can use? One is called a market order. What is that? A market order means that you are all right with paying or buying at the current price that the market is trading at. When you do what's called a market order, you're okay to get filled at the price the market is trading at right at that time. That's called a market order. All right. The next order that we can take advantage of is called a limit order. What is a limit order? A limit order means that you want to get filled at a certain specific set price. When the market trades to this price, then I want to get into the market. I want to buy at this price or I want to sell at this price. That's a limit order. This is the order that we typically use the most because the system that we use, we want the market to come to us. So we use the limit order so that we can set the price where we want to get into the market, not just go with where the market's trading at that time. So that's what a limit order is, where you set the price where you want to get in the market at. Okay. Now, when we are using a limit order, we have to determine whether we want this order to be what's called a day order or a good to cancel order. So a day order means that when we put in a limit order, that order is only going to be good and working for that day only. When the trading session ends, that order is no good anymore. It's canceled out, okay? If it didn't get filled that day. And then on a good to cancel order, that order will be what's called a working order until it gets filled at the price that you set it at. It will be working every day, waiting on the market to come to that price until you fill it, until it gets filled. Now, that also can be sometimes referred to as GTC. That's just the initials for good till cancel. But if you hear somebody saying GTC, GTC is the same as good to cancel. Same thing. It's just sometimes people call it one or the other. Now, typically most platforms, most brokerage organizations will allow a limit order to be working up to 90 days. If it's still working at 90 days, that the order could be canceled and then you can, replace the order if you want to still keep it working. But for the most of them don't normally keep a limit order working more than 90 days. All right. Anything you want to add, Barbara, Dr. Mel? Did I cover everything?
No, you covered everything.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Another thing I want to say too. Now, when it comes to that going back to that market order, okay. One of the reasons, just to give you a reason why, in my opinion, I prefer the limit order because, well, when you're trading futures, the market's moving, and a lot of these markets move real fast. And for example, you could be okay with where the market's trading at, and you say, okay, I want to get in right here. Now, I like what, and then I'll just go ahead and go market. Well, that could end up being very risky because you don't know where you're going to get filled at, you know, especially if you're not, looking or aware of what the asking price or the bid price may be. And if it's a market that's moving fast, you may get filled, a good bit away from where you thought you were going to get filled at. that's happened to me before in the past, and I prefer using limit orders myself. Uh, I just want to kind of give an example, kind of explain a little bit of why I prefer limit orders over market orders. All right. Um, Now, not saying that, if you want to use a market order, then, that's up to you. But if you wanted me to tell you why I don't use them that often, that's the reason. So, Dr. Mel, have you ever used a market order?
I don't think I have. Nope. I always
Yeah.
wait for the market to come to me because I, like we teach in class, I plan all out my trades out, I write them all out. And so once I plan it and I write it out, then I just plug the numbers into the platform that I use for trading, and
Mhm.
it gets filled when the market gets to that point. Um, if the market completely takes a different turn, then I just erase it and then re-strategize again.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Great. Great. Yeah. I just, I don't even know if Johnny B uses market. I don't think he used market order neither. But yeah. Okay. So, what I want to just talk about last before we move into, we have a homework assignment that we always have at the end of lesson 3. Well, I just want to talk about some of the things that trade in the futures market, so you will be kind of familiar with what trades. And then we have different, what's called different groupings, and or you can call them what you want to call them. I call them groupings, I guess, because that's what bar chart calls them. But um, you can call them different categories if that's what you want to. But just know that there's a lot of things that trade in the commodities market, and just to give you a few. So when I say groupings, one of the groupings is called the metals. Okay, what trades in the metals are things like gold, silver, platinum, copper, palladium, you know, metals, precious metals. Another grouping that we have is the livestock. And what trades in the livestock is, cattle, hogs, and you have even in livestock, you have the milk and cheese that trade in the livestock as well. Then you have the grain market, and the grains are, the big three are called the corn, wheat, and soybeans. But you also have oats, rice, and canola trading in the grains as well. Then you have the energy market. The energies, is where, crude oil and the unleaded gas and the natural gas and uh, there's another one I can't think of at the moment, but that's the energies. And then what did I forget?
The sauce.
Yeah, what's in the sauce, Barbara?
Um, it's orange juice, cocoa, sugar. I know those are in the sauce.
That one we always ask the question about too, right? Coffee.
Coffee.
Yeah, no. We also have the currency. That's right. We got the currencies, and that's where you U.S. dollar and the Canadian dollar and uh, British pound and peso and the yen, won, whole bunch of currencies that trade over, and even the crypto currency trade in the currencies. We have Bitcoin futures and Ethereum futures, um, and then don't forget about the financials. That's where we have our SOFR. And I guess that would where you also have the T notes in the 30 year and 10 year. Those trade in the financials, and then the one that you'll hear called two different names, the indices or the indexes. And that's where we have the S&P and the Nasdaq, the Russell 2000, and the Dow Jones futures. All these, so different categories and or groupings, whichever one you want to call them, that trade in the futures market. So just to give you a little idea of what we'd be trading, when we start trading in this market. So anything, Barbara, or Dr. Melba, or is Josh on the call? Anybody want to add anything before we wrap this lesson up and talk about the homework? Anything y'all want to add or mention?
No,
Oh,
I'm good. Mhm.
okay, great. So one of the things we always do after we wrap up lesson 3, go through lesson 3, we have this homework lesson again that we actually love to have this homework lesson because it's a movie that we watch for homework. And it's a movie that was made back in the 80s. And it's a trading movie about trading futures, what we do. And here's what I like to say about this movie. This movie is actually entertaining and educational, okay? So you get both from watching this movie, but just about most people who watch the movie all have said that they went back and watched it multiple times. And every time you watch it, you end up seeing or hearing something that you didn't see or hear before. And I don't know how many times I watched this movie, and I still enjoy it every time I watch it. But this movie is very educational about some things that we do when it comes to trading um, futures. So we want to always kind of give out this homework lesson, and then we come back and talk about it next week. And but the name of the movie is called Limit Up, and it's in our Telegram group. Um, Barbara had it pinned to the top of the group, and then she always reposted it in the group, and it's on YouTube. But the name of the movie is Limit Up, and that's the homework we want to have to go over next week when we get together on next week call. Now, I've seen some new names. I don't even know who all had joined since we've been going through the lesson. But we always want to make sure we invite everybody into our Telegram group. If you're not in it, we have a group on Telegram where we have these quizzes throughout the week. We also have, you know, where we just keep connected and may post stuff that's going on about the market and stuff throughout the week. So we want to invite you, if you're not in our group, to join the Telegram group. And Barbara always, I think she just did, post the link in the chat right here on the Zoom. You go right in the chat, click on the link, and join the group. So, yeah, we have this call that these two amazing ladies always do right here, and it's something that I'm sure a whole lot of you have received a lot of value from if you've been taking advantage of the calls that Dr. Melvin and Barbara do twice a month on Thursdays, and especially if you went through the lesson already and you need that getting started push. You need some questions answered, and you're ready to jump in the market, but not quite sure about a few things. You want to get on these calls and get your questions answered, and it's a different kind of format. Um, Anything you want to say on this, Dr. Mel?
Yes. For the month of March, we're gonna do the first and third Thursday. This month, we normally do second and fourth, but I missed this past Thursday. Wasn't feeling that great, but I'm doing much better. And so
Good.
do first and third in the month of March. So this Thursday, we're gonna be on, and then, 2 Thursdays from then. And pretty much if you've taken this 10-week course, then you're ready to come to the Thursday night class. If you haven't completed a 10-week course, then after this 10-week course, then we figure out what additional classes you'll need to get you up and running. But for right now, once you're completed the 10-week course, you're eligible to come into the Thursday evening class and to ask whatever questions you did not understand in the 10-week course and get extra help to get yourself trading, whether it's paper trading or if you've been paper trading and you want to go to the next level, which is live trading, we can help you with that also. If you have trades that you've marked up your charts and you're not sure if you're marking up your charts correctly, you don't know if you're doing your math correctly, or you're not sure if you're looking at your different formations properly, this is the place that you come on Thursday evenings to ask those questions, because this format is more structured on a Sunday night and the Thursday night is very flexible as far as the way it flows. Okay?
Awesome. Thank you. We appreciate y'all for doing that. And man, this event just keeps building and building and building, and it's coming faster than you think. It's not that far away. End of next month, and boy, I can't wait to see everybody. We've been saying and going over this for a long time that this one's going to be bigger and better than the first two. So if you are on the fence, if you want to be in Arizona, anything you have to say about this retreat, Barbara? We don't heard you talk about this retreat for about 5 months now, so
Oh,
you probably ain't got nothing else to say about it, right?
well, I do, actually, I do.
Oh,
You
what?
ready? It is important for you to be at this retreat. If you wanting to really be serious about this, you wanting to learn, then you need to come. If you're brand new and you're saying, well, I don't know anything about this, maybe I shouldn't come, you're the person that really need to be there. We're gonna have special sessions just for you who's never learned, who don't know anything about futures and commodities. And then there's gonna be sessions for people that has been through the 10-week course and sessions for people that are advanced in trading futures and commodities. So in other words, there's something for everyone. We'll have something for everyone there. You're gonna learn strategies, things that you've never heard of before that you can take with you and build your businesses. And then on top of that, we have a manual being released called Futures and Commodities One-on-One, and that comes out next month as well. So you'll get to purchase our first edition manual, and really have that, because some people learn better if they have a book, they can flip the pages. Some people are visual, they like to listen to videos. So we have a manual coming out, so that'll be available. You'll be able to purchase that. Even at the retreat, you'll be able to purchase that manual as well. So we want you there. We want everybody to come.
No, I'm just telling y'all. I heard through the grapevine, y'all. I'm just don't tell nobody I said. No, I heard that could be a book signing at the retreat too. No.
I heard that, you know what, I heard the same thing too, Delvin. How about you, Dr. Melvin? You hear that too?
No.
I have, yes, I have.
Mm,
I guess
Woo.
y'all gotta make sure y'all in Arizona.
yeah, man. So I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this, and looking forward to seeing everybody in person and spending some time together. So I think we should open it up now and get into some questions or comments about anything we went over, anything that's on your mind. So the floor is open for any questions or comments.
Yes, especially the new people that joined us tonight. If you have any questions, or anything about the course, about Arizona, now is the time to feel free to ask questions.
I have a question. I'm in between listening and washing clothes, so I wanted to know, did I miss the homework assignment for lesson 3?
Yes, you did. You missed it if you didn't hear talk about the movie that we wanted to watch for the homework lesson.
Oh,
Limit up.
limit up, limit up. I got it. No, I saw that part. I thought it was like a written assignment that we had to have. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay, no, that's it. You're welcome. Any questions or comments? I know y'all got some questions, comments.
I don't really have a question. I just want to, if it's okay, to encourage everybody to, if they can, listen to the podcast. I heard you all on both, and I thought it was wonderful. Found out a few little things that I had not taken note of. It's kind of like this movie. You can always pick up a little something extra. So if you got the time, um, do listen and see if it will be beneficial to you. Great job, you all.
Thank you, Joyce. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we enjoy doing them too. So yeah, appreciate that. So everybody's crystal clear about what we went over from lesson.
Can I ask something, please?
Absolutely.
The first, I think I can't remember if that was the first class or the second class, when you asked about the golden rule, and I see you put it again the second time. And I keep getting that one wrong, because I thought the golden rule was the stop loss, the all of the above. I don't have it in front of me, but it keeps saying the answer is C.
Yes.
So you could just clarify that again for me, because I was trying to listen and I was doing something else was going on, because carnival and everything. Well, is so it's not clear with for me.
Yes. So just know all of these rules are very important. Okay.
Okay.
All of them. And then there's some that we just consider to be a little bit more important than others. And
Okay.
the stop loss, always using the stop loss is one of those that we consider to be more important. But the one
Right.
that we deemed as the golden rule is the one where you never risk more than 10% of your account on any particular
Oh,
trade.
okay. And
But-
now I get it, because
So here,
I keep checking in my thinking that isn't the stop loss is one of the golden rule, the other things, and and they keep saying C, so it wasn't clear. Now that you say it over, I now understand what you're saying. Yeah.
yeah, all of them are one of the rules, but there's only one that's the golden rule. So,
Okay.
so keep in mind if you go back and read that question, the question asked for
Okay.
a rule. Like it didn't say what was the golden rules plural. So it would have been plural if it was referring to more than one. So it had to be only one answer, because in the question it said what is the golden rule, not rules. You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
That's how you know
okay.
it's not all the above, because it's not asking for the rules. It says for the rule, singular.
Okay. I
You
did.
see what I'm saying?
Okay, okay.
Yeah, that's just a
I
little
understand.
hint, just a little clue that lets you know it had to be only one, not all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't realize. I didn't I just see golden rule. Or golden.
Yeah.
Well, I must be thinking it's golden rules. I didn't okay, I now realize what you're saying. Okay, thanks. Thanks very much for clearing up that.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for asking. It's important. If you have a question, you always want to make sure you get it. Don't leave the call still not clear about something. that's what we're here for. That's why the Q&A session is always at the end, so we can get clarity on something that we may not be clear on. So don't feel no way. It's never a dumb question. So thanks for asking. Any more questions or comments? Well, I seen some did somebody ask a question in the chat, Dr. Mill?
Yes, yes, yes.
They did?
Mhm. And the question that they asked was, what trading platform do we use? And that came from Daqueen Curry.
What trading platform do we use? Which will be the answer to that
We use
is
several
different.
platforms, but depending
Yeah.
on the world you're in, certain trading platforms are preferable. So what part of the world are you in, Daqueen? You could unmute and talk to us.
Oh, I'm here in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, okay. So then you pretty much can use any platform that, you would like to. We have Interactive Brokers, we have TradeStation. Mr. Wright, he uses, give us a
RJL.
RJO. And then there's the one that you use, Barbara, is
Iron
I
Beam.
think
R&B.
I think Barbara has a list of them already in the group.
I do. I'll go and put them back down to the bottom.
Yeah.
But there's like Dr. Mel said, there's several that we, just depends. Everybody can decide on which one they want to go with, but there's
Yeah.
not just there's not one platform that like everybody's using. It's multiple.
And as you learn too, some platforms you put your trades in based upon points. And then some platforms, Barbara, you put your trades in based upon
Iron Beam is by ticks.
by
So
ticks.
you're
So
not
as you learn to strategize and plot out your trades, you'll see whether you're a computing person or a points computing person. And then you'll figure out which platform you want to be on. And we're laughing because Barbara just loves these ticks. Dr. Mel, I don't have nothing to do with them. I'm a points person, a point value person. So of course the platform I choose is the one that does trades, entry and exit versus based upon point value. And Barbara chooses something that does it by ticks, and she calculates all these ticks and she's really into it. So it depends on what floats your boat, and what makes it fun for you. And that's the platform you end up choosing. Like Delvin, he doesn't do any of that. He picks up the phone, speaks to a broker, he puts his trade in, Delvin goes on with his day, enjoys his life. The rest of us are sitting and putting our stuff in ourselves, and it depends on what you like. So it's a little bit for everybody, and you'll figure out what your flow is once you start learning with us.
And to all the new people, if you have no idea what you just heard with points and ticks, don't get alarmed because we're gonna go over what that means. But that's that's what you need to know in order to know how when the market is moving, how much is moving, and that's what that's referring to. But you will understand what that is. We will go over that. We will even go to the site that we use on a regular basis to go over charts and things of that nature, and then we'll go over what points and ticks are. Okay. Great question again. We have multiple platforms that we recommend. So, any more questions or comments? I'm loving it, y'all. Thank you for these questions and comments.
Excuse me, Dr. Mel, which platform you say you use?
I'm trades.
TradeStation. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And again, one last time, we want you to be part of our community. We want you to join our group. so you can stay connected with us. So if you want to join the Telegram group, make sure you go in the chat right here on the Zoom. Just go to the chat and you'll see where Barbara got the link posted. To tap on that link and join our Telegram group before we jump off the call. So do it now. Don't so you won't miss that. All right. So any more last questions or comments before we go?
Yeah, I got one. Check your private messages, bro. Get my phone number so we can get up. All right.
Okay.
Please, sir.
All right.
All right, cool.
We have one more question. Ms. Curry
Okay.
asked, is there a fee to be a part of this group on Sunday evenings?
Oh man. So if you're on this call right now and you asking a question, that means you got on here for free in order to ask that question, right?
I don't know how she did that.
Yeah. So no, there's no fee. There's no fee. That's why you didn't have to pay to get on here tonight. There's no fee to join our group. Yeah. And what's great about that is you you actually come in and be part of the community, while we are in, I like to say we're still in our beginning stages, you know. Um, even though it's been 5 years. And I think we're still in the beginning, still developing. And now that our manual will be releasing and coming out, we'll start to see, um, you know, some new things that we're gonna be doing, some new things that we're gonna be, migrating over to. So yeah, join the group. Why would you not? It's free to join. Click the link. Any last questions, y'all? We're gonna wrap this thing up and enjoy the rest of our evening. So going once, going twice. I guess that'll be it.